Did anybody notice I haven't been posting? Did anybody miss me at all? No? That's okay. Anyway, this is a review of the brand new album from the Black Keys, No Rain, No Flowers. Now, this is another dive into boogie, blues infused garage rock from Dan Auerbach and Patrick Carney, the Black Keys. And personally, I've been a fan of these guys for quite some time. They were first on my radar back in 2006 with their record Magic Potion, which I thought was a really fun, raw sounding garage rock record that was definitely the foundation for something to build upon that was much greater. And they did that on their very next album, Attack and Release, which saw them working with Danger Mouse for the first time. And that was much more potent sonically. The songs were more fleshed out instrumentally, and it was for sure a step in the right direction. So in 2010, we got the album Brothers, which I believe is probably my favorite Black Keys record. And that was the record where they kind of harnessed the typical Black Keys sound that we know of them today in general, as far as what you think a Black Keys record is going to sound like. And it was on the following album, El Camino, where I feel like the Black Keys reached that top tier as far as the most popular rock acts in the world. Because in comparison to Brothers, the songs on El Camino were a lot more arena rock ready, a lot more anthemic. They make you want to sing along. I feel like some of the songs from that record were in commercials literally. It sounded like songs that belonged in a, I don't know, brand new pickup truck or something like that. Now, the record after that, which was Turn Blue, I feel like that's when things took a bit of a shift. There was a division within the fan base and also probably a slight dip in popularity. Now, personally, I always liked that record. I thought it was really cool how they went a little bit darker, a little bit more experimental. These songs were a bit more expansive in nature, but it was clear that the fan base in general didn't really want that. They wanted basically El Camino Part 2. Now, following Turn Blue, they went on a full blown hiatus. I believe they were kind of dormant for 5 or 6 years. And there was plenty of rumors as far as whether these two guys hated each other or whether they would ever get back together again. In my personal opinion, and I know they've denied it somewhat that they never hated each other, I think they just simply got tired of one another like people can naturally do. It's fine. You kind of get sick of people that you're around 24/7, working with, living with, traveling the world with, and they needed a break. And they got it, and they came back, not just because it's lucrative, but probably because they know they're each other's musical soulmates. Now, being a fan in general of the Black Keys, you would think I would be in some sort of heaven with the constant material that they have been releasing for the last few years. I kind of compare it to this thing I've always said about Future. If Future is your favorite artist, you must be so happy because it feels like every few months or definitely every year, you know you're going to get some sort of Future project, whether it's a mixtape, a full blown album, a collaborative project, an EP, something. He always gives you something. And it feels like the Black Keys have decided to kind of take on that ideology of just constantly giving you something. The issue is, it feels like all of it is just blending together and nothing is sticking out. Like, since they came back from their hiatus back in 2019, this record right here is their fifth album. That's pretty much a record a year. Now, you would think that's pretty cool. They're kind of prolific, they have tons of material, but I do think the Black Keys have become a prime example of maybe you need to let your projects breathe. Maybe you need to allow the listener to kind of just digest this, live with it, kind of find new angles to approach with it, and maybe they'll discover new things about it in a year or so, 2 years from now. I think the Black Keys need to go on another hiatus. You know, the funny thing about this record and pretty much their last few records, it's like this weird, I don't know, backhanded or bizarro insult to make about what they're doing. But basically, my gripe is they're just so good at writing typical grooves. Like they can write a song in their sleep that makes you kind of want to shimmy. It's easy for them. And it just feels kind of, I guess, formulaic, like you're going to the Black Keys factory. They're just pumping out track after track after track. And when they do that, these songs become more and more watered down. For example, the track on here, Man on a Mission, which is a good song, but if you took that song from the Black Keys and they recorded it 10 years ago, that track would sound completely different. It's almost like the way they mixed it, recorded it, they're almost like, we don't want to rock too hard. Be careful. I don't know. And, one of the biggest selling points for the Black Keys is the voice of Dan Auerbach, his soulful, yearning voice. And this album is by far the biggest example of them just trying to drown his vocals out into the instrumentation so much where it just becomes, I don't know, like I never thought that there would come a day that the vocals of Dan Auerbach or his lyricism just becomes somewhat banal and inconsequential. And the weirdest thing, after everything that I've just said, I don't dislike this record. There are plenty of songs on here that, in my opinion, are worthwhile and worth checking out. Again, they're very, very good at writing grooves. They can write a catchy song in their sleep. Now, I don't love every song on here, especially the opening track, the title track on this album. No bueno. No rain, no flowers, no bueno. Don't like that song. But again, there are plenty of songs on here that I do like. But the issue is just something is lost. Something is missing. There's a certain fire, a certain vibe, a certain feeling that's underneath the surface that used to exist with this band that's just no longer there. And they keep pumping out album after album after album, and they all just sound the same. But again, I don't think you're wasting your time listening to this. It's okay. 6 sticks of butter, peace, love, butter.